Let me give you updates on my winter maize. I planted maize for profit, so let me show you around what's happening in the farm and how I'm irrigating. This is how my maize are. With spacing, I just planted, but I made sure that there's a very big space in between the rows. But it's more than 1 meter, the space. But at some other spot, it's like even less. Some it's more. So I was just planting in the rush. There was a promising rain by the time I was planting, so we will see. But when they grow, I think they will do well. So the plan was to plant two by the hole, ne? But I then thought like, no man, let me just decrease the space in between them. So here there are two, but sometimes you find that they are fighting for nutrients. So I then planted them one by one. The spacing is not really that accurate, but I think with this spacing it will work. So I didn't plant them two by two, but the plan was to plant them 2 by 2, but I just then changed my mind. So last year, but I did well with planting them 2 by 2, but there are some which were fighting for nutrients to the point where you will find the other ones a smaller size and the other one a bigger size. As you can see with these two, they are not performing really well. So here's what's happening. Oh, and if you check the smaller ones, my seeds didn't germinate well, and I think it was even because I planted them in a rush, and I was facing problems with water. So I think that factor really did contribute on my seeds not to germinate. So now I have water and I have enough. So what I'm doing now, I'm just shifting this sprinkler. I irrigate maybe 3-4 hours, then I shift it to the other side, then I shift it to the other side. So with my other field this side, here I was irrigating yesterday. I irrigated the whole field, but that top part, it's where I use the petrol pump to pump water to that side, because the pressure is not reaching that side. So there are videos which I did about my struggle with the irrigating water from the river. So because petrol is so expensive, I made this plan. Now I just shift this sprinkler around, but with that top part, because I'm still struggling with pressure, I use the petrol pump to just pump only the top part. I plug 2 sprinklers, but I'm then thinking of getting maybe 4 or 5, where maybe I can just run the machine for maybe 5 hours only, then maybe the whole field is irrigated. So I was even replanting here. Some of my sweet corn were not germinating, but we'll see. So yeah, I think there's moisture in. After maybe 3 days I will irrigate again, but it will depend even on the temperature. But the temperatures have been really cool as we are in winter, so irrigation, it's not really that, it's not a very big stress with irrigating. Maybe if it was summer, but in summer we know maize can even do well with just rain. So but like with this sprinkler, the only problem is that there will be so many weeds. It's just that like in winter there are few weeds, but if it was summer, there were going to be so many weeds. Thing is just that like I will have to be removing weed part by part. So this is the update on how my maize is doing. At least now there's progress, and now I have water. So I replanted again where the seeds were not germinating. I replanted again, but it will affect my selling, because the plan was to really sell in bulk, to the point where these two fields were supposed to be having full sweet corn, which will be ready in a week. Where in a week I mean like I will have to be selling everything, giving myself maybe a week or two, maximum of 3 weeks to sell everything in the farm. So now there will be delays, but it will even put less pressure on myself. But the only big challenge is when you are advertising that you are selling your sweet corn, and people who really want bulk buyers are willing to come to the farm, and they are asking the load which they can get. So it's even another disadvantage, because all this sweet corn won't be ready in the same week or weeks. There will be a very big difference, because if you check these ones, if they're this size and these ones are this size, there will be a big challenge of selling, but we will see. So this is everything. This is how everything is. I'm just using this sprinkler for irrigation. But next year I'm doing proper irrigation. I do have drip irrigation, but they're not enough. And when I planted, I was planting aiming to be using a sprinkler. So let's just agree that next season we will use drip irrigation. So this other side is that side where I said the tractor was failing to plow because of the land was still wet. This land was so wet, and it was even because we are near the river and we were having floods, and we were having some sort of like some streams of water passing through the farm. So but here I planted seeds on Friday, and now it's Friday, so it's a week. I planted some seeds here. They might be germinating after 10 to 14 days, around there. It's where they will be starting to germinate. They do take long in winter, but if it was summer, I will be seeing progress today on Friday. So we will wait and see. But there's still, there's still moisture. I will be monitoring this moisture. So when it's starting to dry a little bit, I will irrigate again. So yeah, here's how things are. And these weeds I have to be taking them off, especially now before there's a lot of work. So today I'm just taking a little bit of break, because for the past 2 days I was really working. I was replanting, and even here on this field I was replanting some which didn't germinate. So yeah, this is how everything is. And if you've made it so far in the video, I really appreciate you watching. This is how everything is. But for now, it seems like there's nothing. But give me 3 weeks. I'll be coming here with a lot of a lot of content, because I will be then starting to apply fertilizer, pesticides, and even fungicides, because the temperatures will be low. So I really appreciate you watching this video. Thanks a lot for watching.